Donald Trump just bombed badly during a disastrous speech in Houston before NASA astronauts and their family. When you have a serious, intelligent, smart crowd there, they were not liking what Donald Trump was saying. You could hear a pin drop as Donald Trump was attacking former President Obama and former President Biden and saying that they didn't know about space. But Donald Trump, he said he genetically knows about space because he had an uncle who worked at MIT. And the astronauts are like, what are you even talking about? The purported reason for this event was Donald Trump giving the Congressional Space Medal of Honor to the NASA astronauts aboard the Artemis, who were the astronauts on the Artemis, including a Canadian astronaut. So there was a moment where Donald Trump had to put the Congressional Medal of Honor on the Canadian astronaut after all the horrific and horrible things he's been saying and doing to Canada. Let me just show you what went down at this complete disaster of an event in Houston. You can see Donald Trump making the astronauts first wait for him for like hours before he showed up. They had to just sit there and wait as he was late. Here, play this clip. And then you have Donald Trump just making the crowd go utterly silent. Not a single person applauding or reacting to anything he is saying as he tries to turn this Medal of Honor ceremony into a partisan campaign speech. The people there were pissed. Here, play this clip.
And we had a little interlude of 4 years, but somehow it was limping along. It was okay. It was limping along. And now I'm back. And we're doing more than limping. We don't limp. 8 years later, these dreams are really coming through at a level that nobody ever imagined. Nobody imagined what.
Then Donald Trump talked about how he genetically believes in outer space because he had a smart uncle who was a professor at MIT. Thus, the genetics tell him that space is good. The hell? Play this clip.
I had an uncle who was a great scientist, a great man. He was at MIT for 41 years, Dr. John Trump, and he loved space. He used to tell me about space, all space. He would throw in the word nuclear every once in a while, but he loved space. So I guess we have genetically, I believe in that stuff. I love it. I find it so interesting, so amazing. It's very special.
Then he starts trying to get the crowd to clap for him by telling everybody that they're good looking. And he's like, they're so good looking. I'm so attracted to them. Aren't they good looking? Here, play this clip.
And the people behind me, these people, I looked at them coming before I came up. I said, that's a good looking group of people. I don't like speaking with those people behind me, to be honest. They look too good. But they're great people. They're great, great people.
Then he started telling people in the audience that they're good looking. He's like, you're a good looking guy. You're good looking. You're handsome. I love your hair. Seriously, this is what he was doing. Here, play this clip.
I'm saying, am I supposed to be introducing a flag that I can't see? It's invisible. Great job, by the way. Great guy. He's still a good looking guy. You were always a good looking guy. Now, I think you're better with the white hair if you want to know the truth. You look better than you did 20 years ago.
Now, here was the moment where Donald Trump had to award the Congressional Medal of Honor to the Canadian astronaut aboard the Artemis. Then Donald Trump can't control himself, so he starts attacking former President Biden. He blames Biden and Obama, but he doesn't know how to say a sentence. So he goes, under a number of administrations, they screwed you, but I saved outer space. And the astronauts are like, dude, what are you doing? Get us out of here. This is supposed to be a Medal of Honor award. Like, why are we even here? Here, play this clip.
The States lost its ability to send our astronauts to the moon, but under a number of administrations, I have to tell you, but in particular the Obama administration, we even lost our ability to send astronauts into orbit at all.
And by the way, while Donald Trump was at the NASA Center in Houston, he showed that he does not know how to use a telephone. So he was with the family members of astronauts who are currently at the International Space Station who were calling their family members. and the phone was handed to Donald Trump, he did not know how to use it. Here, watch for yourself.
Hi, it's Anna. Great to see you guys up there. We love you guys. You're doing a great job.
Hi, babe. Have a good time up there. We'll see you soon.
That's not bad, right?
Yeah.
How can I let them stand here and, they want to say hello and you want to say hello. Who needs Trump? We want to say hello to them. It's an honor. This was a big day. And it's a big day actually for our country.
Continuing to show you what went down, complete and utter silence at the NASA Center as Donald Trump is bragging about the stock market and the fake foreign investment numbers that he always talks about. Play this clip.
Great. This country is doing great right now. Never did anything like it. 81 stock market highs in 1.5 years. Never been anything like it, including they broke it again yesterday for the 81st time. And $19.2 trillion is being invested in our country from outside countries and interests and people. And we've never seen it. That's why I call it the golden age. It's an exciting time. Tomorrow's going to be very exciting.
So then state regime media, which calls itself Fox, had enough. Fox cuts the coverage of Donald Trump's disastrous speech as he rambles about how he's not calling them Democrats, but they're Democrats. And Fox is like, all right, and we're maybe come back to that. That was Donald Trump at the NASA Center. Here, play this clip.
But I got calls from Democrats. Can you believe it? I won't say anything bad about them. I'm not going to change their term or their name, but Democrats, DEM, and they called and they said he's fantastic, which set him back a lot, because when I got so many calls from Democrats, they said, is that good or bad? But I got a lot of calls from Republicans and Democrats, something that...
You've been watching President Trump award the Congressional Space Medal of Honor to those 4 astronauts from the Artemis mission. He's vowing yet again to get to Mars, and we will bring you any news that he makes out of those remarks.
Donald Trump then starts to say that many people think that he ran in 2016, but he actually announced in 2015. And the crowd went utterly silent. Play this clip.
I shouldn't get political, so I won't, but I will tell you from 2015, everyone thinks I ran in 2016. I actually announced in 2015. Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick called up. He said, I want to be the chairman of your campaign in Texas, and you've never left, right? And we won it in record votes. Nobody came close.
And then he's like, don't forget, I gave you Space Force. That was all me. I did everything. I deserve all the credit. Nobody else. Here, play this clip.
And even more importantly, what space has done for our military in terms of offensive and defensive capability is incredible. Don't forget, I was the one that gave you Space Force. And we had no Space Force. And when people heard about it, they thought we were kidding. If they thought it was like comic book stuff, it wasn't at all. It's turning out to be one of our most important branches. It'll be and only getting more important with time. And we were number 3 in space at the time I did that. And now we're leading by a tremendous amount. We made some.
He then tells some bizarre story that's, definitely not true about you had grass growing in the cracks of runways and runways weren't working, but Donald Trump gave everybody runways. Folks, there was no runways before Donald Trump came up with runways. That's what he tells the astronauts. Play this clip.
The building, not a good look. And I went down, I looked at Kennedy Space Center in Florida in particular. I saw something that you rarely see. They had grass growing out of the cracks in the runway. You had a runway that was all broken up. It was all bad. I know all about that from being very good at construction. You had the cracks in the runway. We had grass growing out of the cracks. It's almost hard to do. And I said, boy, this is sad. It was very sad. That's where
He then brags about conquering Venezuela and working with their authoritarian leader, Delcy Rodriguez, to currently control it. He goes, look what we did at Venezuela. We took them over in 48 minutes. Here, play this clip.
And you see how well we fight. We fight very well. We're getting so much of our information from Space Force, as an example. Makes us a much better military. You look at Venezuela, what happened there. One day, actually to be exact, it was 48 minutes. And so much of that information came from space.
Now, I will show you, just run the B-roll here, Jeremy. You can see Donald Trump here not knowing really where he is supposed to go. He gets distracted, and then he's basically told where the podium is. He didn't seem to know where the hell he even was. I want to remind everybody, especially today, we are now at the anniversary. 12 years ago today, former President Obama stepped out in the tan suit. Remember tan suit gate, when we actually had a president who was articulate and who was smart and who cared about our allies and who didn't speak like this? Like, do you remember that? And the biggest issue was, oh my God, he's so disrespectful for wearing a tan suit. And while all of this is going on, Donald Trump posting deranged memes. No more Mr. Nice Guy. What else is he posting? Trump's chilling 5-word response when asked if he'll declare a national emergency to control the midterm elections. And then he had Barack Ravid, his personal stenographer over at Axios, say, over the past 2 months, U.S. officials say the American military has steadily eroded Iran's leverage over the Strait of Hormuz. They believe it could be a watershed moment in the war that could bring a better deal with Iran. The sucker is open, Donald Trump said. The sucker is open. We know it's all false, just all lies, just deranged and utter lies. Houston, we have a problem. Everybody hit subscribe. Let's get to 7 million. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Before you go, our book, WTF America, is available for pre-order now. It's the story of how we got here and how we fight our way back. To pre-order, scan the QR code or click the link in the description. Let's do this.